For nurse practitioners who are going to be doing house calls, one thing that I would advise you to do is ask questions to your employer about things that you'll be getting in terms of benefits. Some of them are like 1099, which means you have to pay your own taxes, so they really don't come with much benefits like insurances and all. But you can still go ahead and ask about, mileage reimbursement, because you'll be doing a lot of traveling. If you're going to be paid per patient or if you're going to be paid per hour, you want to ask about how many patients you're expected to see per day. What is going to be the rate? So for example, there is a severe weather. Is there going to be a change in the rate when you see a patient's audio or virtual visit, if there's going to be a rate change? Also check on things like, if you're going to be get reimbursement for your DEA license, if you're going to get enrollment as a Medicare provider. So for me, as I go along, I realize there are certain things I should have asked from the initial, but I will just kind of let it go. But for future nurse practitioners or persons who are currently on the job hunt, these are things that I would advise you to get. Ensure that you have a malpractice license. Also ask about whether or not they'll be providing that. You can also ask about your DEA reimbursement. Also ask about reimbursement for mileage, travel expenses, if that is something that they consider. Ask about how many patients you'll be seeing per day. If the rate is going to be per hour or per patient, is there going to be any rate changes when it comes on to severe weather, such as, so for example, there is a tornado watch or there is a severe weather that is happening and you cannot make it to see those patients. So for example, you go ahead and see that patient virtually or do an audio video. Is the rate going to be the same, or is there going to be a drastic change in your rate? Also go ahead and ask about, Medicare enrollment, if they'll be doing that, if you'll be getting to do your own billing as a provider, if you're going to be the patient's primary care provider as well. So these are just things that you'll be doing, but the most important thing is whether or not you're going to be getting mileage reimbursement, because some persons, they will have patients, in different locations, and they're expecting you to be traveling 1 or 2 hours to see those patients, and you get in the bare minimum whatever rate they're paying you. And so it's not feasible for you as a nurse practitioner to be driving 2 hours or 1.5 hours to see a patient and then 1.5 hours to see another patient. So you want to find out whether or not, say for example, you show up to a group home that is already confirmed, if it's a case where they're going to be paying you for the visits that you should have had because nobody had explained to you that those patients are no longer there. So look into it and just think about all the different possibilities of what to expect as a nurse practitioner traveling to these locations, and see what it is that you want to do. See what is it that you're good with, and then decide on whether or not you will take the job as a nurse practitioner. But remember, you have to speak up, because if not, they will go ahead and assign patients to you in different locations, and the expectation is that you'll see them. So just let them know what you're comfortable with, especially because you're 1099, which means you're pretty much an independent practitioner. Patients that are disrespectful, I don't deal with that. Patients that are going to be very demanding as to what they want you to order for them, I don't do that. I go with whatever I think is best for the patient and not what the patient tells me to order. I will go with it. Nothing is wrong with taking suggestion, and if there's a provider to practice, always go ahead and talk with them regarding the management if it's something that you're not so sure, and then from there they will be able to best guide you as you go along. But remember, you're in the homes of these patients and you're pretty much independent. They're depending on you to make that call, so it is in your best knowledge, in your best interest, your judgment call to make that decision that is going to be beneficial to the patient, and at the end of the day, saving your license as a nurse practitioner. All right, until then, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that you will remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on for more information regarding anything related to nursing on the Think Nursing channel.